We are live. Hey, ladies.
Hey,
Happy Sunday.
right?
So,
How was
oh, you want to start off, Bianca? How was your week?
My week was good. I literally have no complaints. I feel good. Shit's cool. Nothing to complain about. Life is good.
good? Yeah. I don't really have nothing to complain about either. I think I'd rather just put my energy into what's working than like put my energy into what's not working.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
agree.
Well, if you watched the Wednesday stream, you know I was not on camera because I basically burnt my skin off or whatever. So outside of that, my week has been great. My skin did luckily like bounce back and recover. I feel like it actually looks better than it did before, but I digress. So yeah, outside of that, my week has been great. It's been a very transformative week.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So transformative.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us.
Hey, thank you.
So, is there anything that anyone would like to get off of their chest before we get started? No.
No, I don't necessarily want to get off of my chest, but it is a few things that I want to leave behind as we enter in this next week. I feel like
Oh,
I am, well, I'm not going to claim this. I have procrastinated a lot in the past, and I just decided that's not who I want to be anymore. That I'd rather just be like more intentional with my time and the things that I want so that I'm not like stressing myself out or making myself anxious because I waited to the last minute to do things. So going into next week, I will no longer be procrastinating, and I'm just going to use my time and energy wisely.
yeah. I guess I don't. I like that energy. I'm not. I don't need to get anything off my chest. But when we were talking about this being a very transformative week, last week I decided to make a whole bunch of lifestyle changes, and it was a lot at one time. But usually when you make a lifestyle change, you kind of just want to gradually go into it. But I feel like I just jumped into it, and even as it started, I'm just looking forward to doing the new habits that I'm creating for myself. You know.
I love that though. What I say every day is a choice. We get to choose who we want to be. We get to choose the type of habits that we keep and everything. So we are just being living consciously pretty much. And I love that for us.
Same.
I also do not have anything I want to get off of my chest, except for the fact I feel like it was like 2 shows ago we came on here. We all did a nail cam with showing our nails and all of this. And I just want to say I'm really struggling with my nails in the nail industry. I could make this a rant, but I'm not going to. But I just feel like something needs to be done about the nail industry and the way it operates right now. And I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone, but I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah, I want to just piggyback off Shani's rant that I went to 4 nail shops in a week period, just literally just trying to get my nails soaked off, and it was a fail. So something's going on around here, okay? And that's why I don't have my nails done right now. But I digress.
Yeah, it's definitely a whole thing going on. I feel like within the beauty industry in a whole, honestly, it's like because the demand is there, we have to kind of put up with certain things that might not be like the best for us. But I don't know if y'all watched our stream from Wednesday. Bianca was saying that she is about to stop putting acrylic on her nails, and I decided to join her in that because I spend so much money on my nails, and it's low key never the way I really want it for real. Like,
It's really, I don't know.
Oh, also, it took me 3 hours to get the acrylic off my nails last night. Short, natural, painted nails by B.
Hey, Juke. Hey, everyone. Yeah, 3 hours is not
Hey.
bad though. It took me a week to get mine off. But you invested in like the drill and everything.
Yeah, cause I ain't got time.
Alrighty, well, we hope you all had a great week. But if not, Bianca likes to say something on the Mindful BS podcast. So if they didn't have a good week this week, what?
Try again next week.
All right, well, that's that on that. So we're gonna actually kick off this Sunday stream game with a game. You guys know we love to play our games. This is a game that we've done before, but we're switching up a little bit. So, who said that? Movie quote edition. So, if you can get the movie quote, then bam, you're good. But if you can give us the movie quote and just in the chat tell us who said it as well, you get double the points. Now we ain't got no prizes, it's all for fun. But maybe one of these weeks we will actually implement some type of gift or like
Fun is bragging rights. You get to say that you're the who said that champ for the week.
Okay, so are you ladies ready? We'll just get started with the first one.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to read the quote just for anybody who like maybe listening and can't see it on the screen?
I think we should take turns. All right. I'll do the first one. The first quote is, I'm not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom. Who said that?
Y'all let us know in the chats. What movie is this from?
I honestly have no idea.
You have
They don't know.
Oh, they don't.
I don't know.
Chases.
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls.
Any other guesses? I don't know. Yeah. I have a question though, really quickly.
Well, Jay's right.
Oh, is it?
Oh, my bad.
You're good. No, you're good.
We're on it.
Bam, Mean Girls. Whose mom was this? That looks like this.
Regina George's mom.
Oh, she was like the
the
main
girls
popular.
were over, and her daughter was like 7 dances. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Daughter, and then she was bringing her teenage daughters and them drinks. Like, I'm not a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
I honestly say this quote all the time because facts. Like,
Facts. Me too.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I think I'm cool, but I don't know how cool I am as a mom.
You still got time to figure it out. I mean,
all right.
My
Cool.
mind only 4.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
My daughter thinks I'm pretty cool though, so most
Next,
of the time.
Right. Next quote is, "Make that money, girl. Don't let it make you." What movie is this from? Who said that?
Y'all know this.
Who said this? What movie? This is actually a classic in the culture, so.
A classic. Period.
Oh my gosh. I'm so bad with movies. Oh, Juke. Okay. Juke is gonna need to fall.
Don't feel bad. Trust me. Look, I know that even if you think you're bad with movies, there's at least one quote in here that like you. Trust me. These is classics. Some of them is classics.
Yeah, some of them. So if you guess the players.
May the odds ever be in your favor.
Who said that? What movie is this from? May the odds forever be in your favor. I feel like people should know this one, right?
Yeah.
This movie was like number 1 in the box office. Hunger Games. Ooh, Dev looks like he's sweating. Or is that like a sad face? What face is that?
It's the think face, girl.
Oh, the think face?
Some of these emojis don't translate.
I don't know if it's Twitch or okay. See, Juke, Hunger Games.
See,
Dev,
Juke,
you stole that. That is correct. If you guessed it, I can't remember her character's name, but I'm actually gonna go back and watch that movie.
Wait. I don't remember.
Yeah, Katniss.
I thought Katniss was the main character. That was
yeah, she's talking about the one who said it. So.
Damn, what is her name? I can't think of it either right now. Sorry, guys.
I might watch that movie again. It was good. Okay. So Bianca, the next quote.
The next quote is, everything you done to me already been done to you.
So you guys, who said that? Who said this? What movie is this from? I feel like honestly this one, I feel like people have seen this movie, but I don't know if they're gonna remember this quote.
No, they ain't gonna remember this.
Unless they've seen it a lot.
Unless they've seen it. Yeah.
I'm actually really, really sad. There was one other quote that I wanted to submit, but it was like on a different list. Don't know this one. Shay said, it sounds like The Color Purple or something Tyler Perry-ish.
Tyler Perry.
It's a specific genre, okay?
Any other guesses before we make the big reveal? I feel like some of you guys are definitely looking these up.
Taking too long.
Right? A little bit too long to make a guess.
They probably in the server again, trying to come up with the answers together.
So if you guessed The Color Purple, Che was right. I remember this. Ooh. This scene right here, when she did those fingers like this, I was like, what?
Everything you done to me.
No, that's like a really interesting thought though. Like, I hate to be a deep thinker right now, but to think like how karma works, like, you know that saying hurt people, like high key, that stuff people be doing. Somebody already did that to them. So it's like, you think you're hurting me, but in actuality, you're just hurting yourself and further.
Period.
Yeah. Avoiding healing, but instead inflicting the pain that you feel. Like that's your release, but it doesn't really heal the pain that you're feeling. That's real. All right, so this next one.
Honestly, I had to refrain.
You said you had to refrain what?
From submitting a whole bunch of Color Purple quotes. It's a lot of Color Purple quotes that out.
Well, I feel like there's another. Ma'am, can you please stop? There might be more Color Purple quotes in here.
I want to make me feel good.
Oh my gosh, I'm done.
You say that all the time.
Man, she was like, she was drunk in the tub. Like, you surely. You're like, girl, say that. Like, I'm trying to help. Oh. Me and you must never part, not be.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm done.
One.
I'm done.
Now this quote, I feel like even someone who's not good with movies, Juke, should know. And the quote is, "Are you not entertained?" You should know this. Oh, Bianca, you don't know this, do you?
You should know that.
Bianca, do you know this quote?
Oh, Bianca submitted this quote.
No, did you? I think I submitted this.
Mm. You know what's crazy is y'all actually had a couple of the same ones though.
Girl.
That is so funny.
That's how you know y'all friends.
I was about to say, I definitely submitted this quote. Oh my goodness. That is so funny. Or maybe I didn't actually.
Hey.
Oh, actually, I think you did do this one. Never mind.
I actually say this shit in real life a lot sometimes.
She does.
Like when Bria when me and my daughter get, and then she call herself have an attitude, I'd be like, "Are you not entertained?" She be so sorry.
She ain't probably looking at you like, no.
I love that quote though, and I love that movie.
Gladiator is a great movie. So if you guessed the Gladiator, you are right. And Juke, we're not calling you out. It's all fun and games. So next up we have, now this is a classic. This is a classic quote.
Yeah.
May the force be with you.
Yeah.
Who's that? I really actually love this scene, and this is probably one of the most memorable moments in the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise history. Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? That is correct, you guys. Star Wars. Pretty classic. Have you guys ever watched Star Wars?
I've never seen the entire movie because that movie long as
It's
heck.
long, yeah.
Yeah, that movie long. I ain't never watched Star Wars movie for real. I'm gonna be honest. My grandfather were into them, but you know, when I don't rock with it, I just can't get into it.
That's fair. The next quote, it's kind of a long one. Can you see it, Bianca? Do you want me to read this one?
I got it.
Okay.
I'm about to say it just like him too.
Okay.
My mama always said life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Who said that? You guys, what movie?
Period, Forrest.
Forrest Gump, classic movie. You guys are actually really good at this. Shrimp, what was it? Shrimp gumbo, shrimp baskets, fried shrimp, buffalo shrimp.
Jenny. Why you have to say her name like that?
Oh, classic movie. Shout out. So if you guessed Forrest Gump, you indeed are correct. Our next quote. No, I feel like this one, I don't know. I feel like this is a very memorable quote, but not everyone may feel the same way. So the next quote is, "It was beauty killed the beast." What?
I did not, when I had to Google it.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that one either.
How y'all didn't know this one? I'm like obsessed with this movie and all of the movies that have come out surrounding this storyline. What? You don't know, Dev? Chase said King Kong. Wow. I'm actually hurt. Y'all ever find out something that y'all ever find out somebody that you're like really close to and they like don't know about something and it just make you look at them a little bit different, like, do I really know you then? Do I know you? And Shay was right. It is King Kong. This is like literally at the end when he's like lying on the ground dead because he didn't got shot down because he was chasing. It doesn't matter. Just watch the movie, y'all. Shooting shots tonight. Huh? Oh, me? Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. The next quote is,
all my life, I had to fight.
Who said that?
Who said that?
Go ahead, Bianca. I know you want to finish the quote. Go ahead. I saw when you did the ponytail. Finish it. That might help him.
No, it's cool. Because I don't know if I know the whole next dance, and I don't want to mess it up.
I don't either. I just know she was, I had to fight my brothers. I had to fight
my brothers, my cousin, and I'll be damn.
If I let another man beat me. Roots. I'm done. Oh, I am done.
That's right before she was like, I love Falco, but I kill him dead before I love.
Oh, he said Roots. All right. So the correct answer was The Color Purple. Shout out to Trey. Shout out to... Oh, you said it right the first time, Dev. All right. Next up on Who Said That, we have.
Wait, is it my turn or yours?
I don't know. I don't think it's mine.
Is it your turn?
Read it. It's your turn, Shay.
King Kong ain't got shit on me. Everybody should know this one.
You should know this one.
If you ain't never even seen the movie, I feel like everybody has said this for like the last 15 years.
Wow, he said Mr. Denzel. Training Day. Yeah, this is definitely a classic line. Yeah. Training Day is correct. Next up, who said that? What?
It's mine.
Go ahead, Bianca.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Hey, oh my gosh.
I literally was living when Meg Thee Stallion said this in her new song that just came out. The thought.
Oh, she said this?
She said that? I missed it. That's funny.
Bruh, Temptations, yes. David Ruffin was wildin'. But the thing is, I have a question, you guys. If y'all was really a part of a group and somebody, like, if we sitting there planning a show, right, our first, like, live show, and one of us look at you and be like, ain't nobody coming to see you, I feel like I would want to fight. Like,
no, I'm going to feel some type of way. They might have to go on
Shay gonna be like, oh, she got me. And he was, look at his face in this little gift. He was so serious.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Shay.
What's that one song? You want to fight? I want to tussle.
He was cutthroat. He was cutthroat. All right. So next up, we have, you gotta use what you got to get what you want. Now, who said that? You guys, honestly, I've seen this movie, but I don't know why and I've said this before, but I just didn't connect the dots on this one.
Really?
I think it's like every day.
Do you feel like it's true? You feel like you have to use what you got to get what you want?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe not specifically how she was saying it, but definitely.
You ain't got to use that.
But I mean, you can.
But you can, though.
Like
you can. A lot of people do.
But there are other weeks.
But that's not the only area that it applies.
Correct. So one guess, we have Players Club. I don't know. Dun, 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 dun. You are correct.
Don't no Ronnie Ho quotes.
What is this? The next quote. Oh, I think it's on you, Shay.
I don't know. Wait, is it? Oh, tell your fine daddy I said hey.
Yeah, I was about to say you better do the turn too.
Y'all, why did I not know this?
Girl, wait.
Okay, so don't judge me.
It's the funniest part of the movie.
It's literally the funniest part.
So don't judge me, you guys. But if you guess Friday After Next, one of the Fridays, yeah, you are correct. But I've literally only watched, I've watched Friday. I feel like I've only seen Friday After. That's the one after Friday? Or is it next Friday?
No, so next Friday is the one where he went to the suburbs. Then Friday After Next was the one when they was the security of the little plaza and it was Christmas time. That was like Cat Williams in it.
I don't know if I've ever saw that.
Girl. It's actually funny. We should have a movie night.
Right. Yeah. Add it to the list.
Ooh, okay. Shots fired back in the chat, but I'm just going to keep it pushing. Anywho, next up on the quotes, Bianca.
Remember it. Write it down. Take a picture. I don't give a
fuck. What is this?
You're supposed to read the blink too.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, she did. She just said it. What movie is this? Who said this? I know somebody know who said this.
Who said that?
Rush Hour.
Right after Road Movie.
Right.
He did.
He did.
And the correct movie is Friday. Next up, this might be our last one. You're like really pretty. That's the quote.
Thanks. So you agree.
So you agree. You think you're really pretty.
This is like my favorite quotes. I have like a little decal on my bathroom mirror that says this quote.
You're like really pretty.
That says you're like really pretty.
So you agree.
Well, I mean, it's appropriate. You are like really pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah. But my thing is like when she said like thanks or whatever, the fact that she said so you agree.
So you
like
agree.
what are you
like
you just told me I was and now you making me question it.
That movie has the funniest quotes in it. If y'all guys are in here and y'all ain't never seen me, I'm telling you, like, it's funny. Y'all would still think it's funny. Like, if they just say something.
Honestly, I wanted to use, like, almost all Mean Girl quotes. Like, she doesn't even go here.
No, that was a good one.
She doesn't even go here.
Wait, was it?
Because I had a wide vagina.
I have a question. Is Mean Girls where the Glen Coco thing comes from?
Yeah, I almost admitted you go Glen Coco.
But didn't I look up Glen Coco and it was a man?
Yeah.
And Bianca was calling me a man, y'all.
Glen Coco still go, though.
All right, so next up, so if you didn't catch it, sorry, that really was Mean Girls. Next quote is Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. Who said that?
You gotta do the hand. Who said that?
That whole movie was too much. I know someone in the chat has to guess this. Come on.
Come on, y'all know.
Eddie Murphy in one of them movies. Okay. Wait, did he play like all of those characters, didn't he? Or most of them?
Yeah. Most of them.
Not even one guess on Nutty Professor. Well, my good pal, you are correct. It was the Nutty Professor. So that was fun. You guys actually knew most of it. I feel like people guessed. Someone guessed each movie, so at least you guys are pretty solid on movies.
Movies memorable quotes. Next time we're gonna have to make it a little harder.
I agree. So that wraps up this segment of Who Said That. We'll open it up. No Scarface quotes. I almost put that in there.
You won. Yeah, you won, Shay.
Yeah, you definitely had the most. Okay, one.
Who said that? Champ of the week.
One. Okay, what about this quote? Who drank my beep beep apple juice? Do y'all know this? Okay, I'll just I'm just throwing it out there for fun. Well, okay. See, there you go. Got another one, Dev. So we're gonna move on to our next segment, which, if you didn't catch in the title, we are talking about languages, but not Spanish, English, and Japanese. Body languages, okay? So if you can see this chart, there are 11 types of body language. I feel like, Shay, do you have some stuff you want to comment on these in particular?
I guess just basically recognizing the ones that we use on a daily basis so that you can decipher when other people are using them, and how other people may be communicating with you when it's nonverbal. So, some of these are things that we already know, like obviously hand signals, like talking with your hands, that's a certain type of communication. Even your eye movements, that can tell a lot. The things that you do with your mouth, like you like turn it this way or upwards or downwards, those can be a different type of communication. So all of these things is basically just whatever it is that you do with your body, instead of saying actual words, be interpreted as some type of message or signal so somebody can understand like your feelings at the moment.
So, based off of this list, just out of curiosity, ladies, if you had to pick like one or two of these 11 out of these 11 types, which ones do you think you use the most when it comes to body language?
Um, for me, I think it would definitely be hand gestures and facial expression.
I think definitely hand gestures. I talk way more with my hands than I think I do.
Me too.
And I'm gonna say eye gazes because I definitely move my eyes a lot and all that.
Yeah, I would definitely say eye gaze. I don't really fully understand interest. What is that? Is that like your
So you know how like you can do certain things to show more interest in something, like maybe lean forward, like you trying to really hear them, or like maybe like be open with your body, so then that way people can tell like you're showing interest.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I would say eye gaze and interest are like my probably top two for sure. So if you're in the chat, feel free to you can comment it if you want to. If not, you don't have to. I'm just kind of curious. Which one do you think you probably do the most? Hand gestures, eye gaze? Do you lean your full body in or, cross your arms? Like, I'm just very, very curious. And I think this is interesting because ooh, I can't remember the exact percentage, but I know that studies typically say that it's like over 50% of your communication is done visually. So through your body language. So a lot of scientists, psychologists, they believe that most of what you're saying is not even coming out of your mouth. So when you think of it like that, body language is definitely very important and it's also very, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And just to think about all these different type of body languages that I didn't know exist, and how I could be perceived differently based off of my body language when it, like just to be more present of how it is that I'm coming across towards other people.
Mm-hmm. So the next slide we have up, oh wait, I actually feel like it, sorry you guys, it actually skipped a slide. Yeah. So the next slide we have up is of a short video from the body language guy. I guess I'll just play it. You want to just play it first and then we can talk about it, Shay?
Yes.
All right. So hopefully, let me know if you guys can hear it.
Get down to it.
Hey everybody, I just want to take a second to address a few things.
Well, Jamie Lynn starts her Instagram stories talking like what she's about to say is no big deal. Just want to take a second to address a few things. That is trying to disguise what is going on with her sister as something not that important. And there's also the fact that she didn't post it to her Instagram grid or IGTV, so it will most probably disappear in 24 hours. That's another way of not giving it the relevance it needs. This looks like a recommendation from Lou Taylor, who used to be Britney's business manager and at the same time was instrumental in the creation of the conservatorship, along with Britney's father, Jamie Spears. At the same time, it's very easy to see that Jamie Lynn evades with her eyes, twists her mouth to her right, and denies with her head in a very subtle way. Right from the start, there's a negative attitude about what she's doing. We don't know the reason why yet, but in the first 5 seconds, she's telling us with her words and her body language that she didn't want to do this. And what is her excuse for not speaking before?
The only reason I haven't before is because I felt like until my sister was able to speak for herself and say what she felt she needed to say publicly, that it wasn't my place and it wasn't the right thing to do.
Now, that statement is absurd because she knew that Britney could not communicate freely with the outside world. The only way to see her was through her Instagram account, and it's always been controlled by someone else under the scrutiny of her father. There's also the fact that she uses a conceptual connector when talking about Britney's intentions. She says, when Britney could speak for herself and say what she thought she needed to say publicly. Pay close attention when people use this kind of connectors. It's commonly used by manipulative personalities when they say things like, it's great that you have the opportunity to say or do what you think is right or what you feel is right. It's a way of suggesting that what you think or what you feel is your interpretation of the truth or the facts. It's your point of view, and maybe not the real truth. If you've been with manipulators, you know they use this tool so you doubt your own arguments. Also, those eyes to her right, up, and to her left, that's not very common, and if you see other interviews of her, you realize that she never does it. That's a strong signal that she's fabricating the statement about wanting Britney to speak first, because she knows that Britney couldn't. Now, in the next 10 seconds, there are 5 body language signals. Let's see if you can spot them all.
But now that she's very clearly spoken and said what she needed to say, I feel like I can follow her lead and say what I feel I need to say.
Notice that the connector that we were talking about previously can also be used to dilute your own statement. Say what I thought that I needed to say. It's not a clear statement. Instead, she should have come clean with a statement like, this is what is happening to my sister. That never happens. And regarding her body language, she first presses her lips and looks away. She's feeling shame. Then she briefly turns her eyes to her left, her memory side, recalling that Britney had already spoken a few days back. Then something very interesting happens. She does a shoulder shrug, that is a gesture commonly associated to not caring much about something, and instant later she raises her chin defiantly, like she has nothing to do with that, and when she notices that she's giving the wrong impression, she freezes her head with her chin up and presses her lips again. Now we know that she didn't want to do this, and she feels ashamed of what's going on, and she's a bit defiant or entitled to the right of not having to do anything with her sister.
Okay, so first off, ladies, what do you think about at least what was said in the video? I guess we can start there.
Go ahead.
I mean, okay. I first of all, I thought the real interesting, especially considering this topic, because you guys know we have servers before that Britney was in her sister coming out with a statement afterwards. So just him analyzing the body language that she showed, it really like her eyes move. My dad is a police officer. He always told me knew when I was lying, when I would like try to tell the story, but then I would like go like this. Or like all those like natural gestures. It's like things that are out of your doing that trigger. Cause I feel like if I'm telling this story, like even the little things he was saying, like make her believe the things. Like I just felt like it was real interesting. And just to give you guys some background of it, because I feel like we just showed y'all the video. This the body language guy, and we'll talk about. But this YouTube channel, this guy analyzes body language for different people in different situations, and using triggers. We use this as an example, and obviously we have talked about this before. So I mean, example the show. But that's crazy. I believe like I can see what he means by those little statements that he just pointed out.
Really interesting to me because he was talking about her eye movements and the things that she was doing, like shrugging her shoulders and stuff. But then there was actually words that she was saying that didn't really mean exactly what she was saying. So, like, as much as we are reading body language, we're also like kind of reading between the lines of what people say. Like, they saying one thing and mean another thing, and you can tell because of their body language that they don't exactly mean what it is that they're saying. Like, it's very obvious. And I watched this full video. It's only like 15 minutes long, but man, he was roasting her from front to back. Like, he really got her together to show that what she was saying was like not real based off of his expert knowledge, you know. I don't know. I feel like it's so interesting, and it made me want to be more like, I guess, aware of what other people are doing and saying and what I'm doing and saying.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely thought the video was interesting. Of course, you guys know I'm always gonna challenge what's being said or done. But I guess my only thing with like body language is I know it definitely plays a big part in how we communicate and what we communicate. But I do feel like there are one-off situations. Like for example, me personally, if I'm in a spot where I'm put in a position where I feel nervous, I might do some of those things, but not because I'm lying or not because I have something to hide, but because I'm just nervous in the situation. You know what I mean? So me looking to the side may be my way of like looking away from the audience, or you know what I'm saying? So I just have to say that because that's just me. But I definitely think the whole breakdown was interesting. In this specific case, I definitely feel like there's probably, to Shay's point, some reading in between the lines and like what's being said versus what does she really mean, that's taking place. But I don't know. I don't really know if I fully buy into all of the body language like breakdowns, just because, like I said, I don't know. I feel like there are those one off situations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we'll go over some in the next few slides where we can like really break down and say like what certain eye movements mean, because just like looking to the side, that's not mistrust. Um, like, just if you're like looking back and forth, kind of like you can't really figure out what it is that you're trying to pinpoint and say, that can be seen as a lie. But if you're looking to the side and upward, that's you just recollecting your memory. So they can all kind of seem close to each other, not exactly mean like the same thing. I do that all the time. I literally do this all the time, like when I'm thinking about what I'm trying to say. So that's interesting. So what we have here on this slide is just basically you can see some different body language depending on what it is that you're doing and how it is that you're conveying. So like on the first one, it says like openness versus defensiveness. So like if you are sitting open with your hands open, then you're like more approachable. You look like you are open. But if you are closed off like this, like with your arms folded, even your legs crossed, then that means like you're more defensive. It's also too like the way that you point direction of your feet. Like if you're sitting next to somebody and your feet is pointing the opposite direction or your legs, then that could show like a closed offness too.
That's interesting.
So these are just different ones. And you can take a look and see like based off of these what you can be conveying.
This is so interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's really important to notice too this type of behaviors that you're doing with your body, like when you're going on interviews, you know, like when you're in social settings and you're trying to like meet new people or make new friends, like how it is that we convey our body just sitting there, even though you might not be closed off. If your body language is showing this, like some type of frustration or upset, like nobody's gonna approach you or come up to you. So, you know, we just want to be mindful about exactly what it is that we're giving off. Like,
Absolutely. So definitely look these over. Just to kind of be, like Shay said, aware. And on the next slide here, we actually have tips for decoding body language.
Yeah. You might have to double tap on this to zoom in on it.
Oh, you're fine.
I had to split this up into two different things. But if you could see like what I was saying before, you could see like specific eye movements or specific movements with your mouth or something like that, then you can tell like what it is that somebody is doing or what they could mean by that. But of course, you got to pay attention to all the body language because, like Shani said, you could be doing something that be more of a nervous tick than you just flat out lying.
Mm-hmm. It's also really interesting though because as we're looking at these tips, obviously body language is something that is discussed. Again, like Bianca mentioned, this guy has a full channel where he just breaks down the body languages of different people and what that may mean. And I think it's interesting though that he was saying that he feels like sometimes, like when he was saying those connector words are commonly found in manipulators. But I'm going to be honest with y'all really quickly. I feel like people who just strictly study body language, bro, you might be a manipulator because then are you using this information to, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, if you're that good at breaking down body language, I just feel like if you're put in certain situations, you would know what not to do to, you know what I mean, make sure others believe you. But I digress.
I agree.
I mean, probably like maybe you was already a manipulative person and then you got into it specifically so that you could use it to your advantage. Because I definitely think that some people who are like frequent liars and stuff, they know what to do so that they don't get caught in a lie. So whether that's their facial expressions, how they are with their body to make themselves seem more confident that they're not telling a lie, like for sure this is true like with manipulators.
Yeah. So here are just a few other ones. One thing in case you can't read it, they do say body language indicators tend to occur in clusters. So look for a group of signals, kind of what Shay was saying. Like maybe it's, if you just see them look to the side or something, maybe that's just them, being nervous. But if you see that in combination with looking to the side, arms crossed, defensive, then that could definitely mean something. I'll read this decoding facial expressions really quickly. So this first one here says a person with a genuine smile smiles with mouth and eyes. A person with a fake smile does not smile with their eyes. So it's just their mouth. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. And then over here, it says, I don't like you in this bubble. And then it says pursed lips, tight jaw, and furrowed eyebrows expresses dislike or disapproval.
Yeah, I always blame or I think something ain't right.
I don't know about this.
You give them that smile when people see you in public, the PWCs.
I'm done.
You know what it means, y'all. Y'all can stop doing it.
So here are a few other tips as far as body language. On this far left side, you can see how you can tell someone is bored. 3 signs to watch for are distraction, repetition, and tiredness. And then it says other body language signals in the middle. A person leaning forward shows eagerness and attentiveness. Open palms express openness. Hands in pockets may mean the person is keeping distance. And feet pointed toward an exit may mean the person is eager to leave. Have y'all ever did that?
I mean, not noticeably.
I'm about to start doing it now. So go.
Okay, now here, this is what I'm talking about. This is probably that manipulation. Use body language to your advantage. Let's see what they say here. If you want someone to like you or if you want to be persuasive, keep steady eye contact to show you are interested and engaged, but don't stare for too long. They also say you should stand at a 45-degree angle from the person and mirror the other person's actions, posture, and gestures. This will make the other person more at ease.
This is interesting because this is something that I talk about in the guide to couples intimacy. And one of them is literally eye contact. And I don't say like the 45 degree or anything like that, but it does make people feel like more comfortable at ease when you like literally stare at them. Not in no creepy way or nothing like that, but just like in a gentle, like wanting to know more type of way. Like, you don't know that.
I was seeing this guy and he used to randomly stare at me sometimes and he used to make me. I know the gaze was definitely giving like, oh, like yeah, but it still was like, why are you looking at me like that? Like every time he would do it, I'd be like, why are you staring at me? It didn't make me feel comfortable. It made me feel like, but why?
There's a difference
But
though.
that's like,
oh, go ahead, Shay.
I was about to say that's kind of like something that's like our insecurities, because I literally say that all the time, like to my girlfriend, like, what are you looking at? Like, what? And like the person literally just be admiring your beauty, but we're so like, you know, like we be having our insecurities about ourselves that we can't just fathom that somebody is staring at us just because we're gorgeous. Like, y'all know that thing with black girls when they say you see a black girl and then we give each other that look or whatever, and they like, man, this girl looking at me weird. She must got a problem with me, but she really looking at you because she's like, yes, girl, yes, doing your thing. So.
Yeah. And I also do feel like I stand by this top one, the eye contact thing. I'm like probably one of the biggest eye contact people ever, but I do think there's a difference between staring and making eye contact as well. You know, one is like I catch you, you see me, seeing you, and then we do our own thing. But staring, I agree kind of with Bianca. But Shay, you made a valid point. It does make me a little uncomfortable when someone is like staring at me for too long, because it's like, are you gonna say something? Like,
right,
what's
like,
on your mind? So this next slide here shows lists some positive body language and also what can be perceived as negative body language. So you guys could probably read it, but enthusiasm to contribute, confidence in your abilities, comfortable in taking on challenges. These could all result in positive body language. But obviously, on the other side, if you're doubtful, if you're indifferent, or you have an uncaring attitude, resistance to contribute, then you're probably going to be giving off the stuff that was on the one slide. I can go back and show y'all just in case y'all don't remember. But that shows that you aren't interested, and you probably look like more of the right side of either of these couples on here. So just something to keep in mind. Now, anything else that you ladies want to add about body language in general before we move on to the next language that we're discussing tonight?
I don't think so.
I don't think so at all.
Okay. I don't think I have anything either, but just, when you're being more aware of body language, I would just say don't necessarily jump to conclusions if you see something and it's shifty or, it's kind of sketchy. Do your due diligence to really figure it out, but also don't be a manipulator and now just start using these body language tips to get what you want and, finesse people. So yep. Now, I think this next segment that we're doing today was actually a suggestion from one of our viewers. Am I right or am I wrong?
Right. You guys know Barbeezy. If y'all don't know him, I wish we could add his little shout out into the thing, like shout him out into the chat.
I don't know if it'll let me, but I'll try.
But Garbeezy streams, he does gameplay, different type of games and stuff like that. So I hopped into his stream the other day, and he said that he wanted to hear us talk about love languages and what did we, consider our love languages as, Bianca, Shani, and Shay. So we actually had this conversation already on my podcast. So if you want to hear like a more in-depth, what do we personally believe in all this stuff, then y'all can go back and check that out. I don't know, we might link it or something. But yeah, today we are going to be talking about love languages. This is a book if you guys are not familiar with that. And basically, these love languages are just used as a guide so that you can love people properly, the way they want to be loved, and not like the way that you give love.
Yeah, which I think is really important because sometimes the way we give love is an expression, so we don't understand their feel like they aren't getting the same feeling as we're giving. But it's really, I do think that there's something behind knowing how a person receives love and giving them the love in the way they receive it, giving it in the way that you think that it should be gave. I really feel like it gives an impact, and it's more help what the person actually wants instead of forcing what you feel on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. So on the side, like Shay mentioned, this is a book, but they also have a website, and I believe the website is like 5 love languages. It's really simple. So if you Google it, you will find the website. You can take the quiz, and you can figure out what your love language is based on the quiz results. But here are the 5. So we have physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, and receiving gifts. So, out of these 5, ladies, do you know which one is like your top 1 or top 2, 3? No, maybe so.
Yeah, so it's interesting because I had took this quiz obviously a while ago, and I feel like my love languages now are my top ones are a little different. But my 2 top right now, actually, I want to be loved in all of these, so that I want all of them. But my top ones would be acts of service and words of affirmation. Acts of service is important to me because the older I get and the more I realize how how hard life is, I really do like somebody who would just make shit, like fucking doing the dishes, doing the laundry. Thank you. Like, you appreciate me, and that makes me feel love. Also, I'm also like a real reassurance type girl. So I like word for, and I'm really expressive with my own words. So I like people to tell me exactly how they feel. I want to know how I want you to tell me how pretty I am. I want you to tell me that I'm the shit. You know how you feel about me. I want you to that you can't live with me because you can't. But like,
Oh my goodness.
but like, it's just important for me to just feel like reassured in my well. So those are like my top.
Okay.
I probably agree with you. I'll just say to pick one. My number 1 is probably acts of service. Like Dee said, I really do enjoy being with somebody, or even like this don't just pertain to romantic relationships. You guys would really behoove you to like apply love languages to all your relationships, whether they are familiar or platonic, because this is a game changer for relationships. Like with your friends, you might be doing something like trying to do something really nice for your friend, and she might feel like you're not really being a good friend, but they might need something differently for you in order for them to feel like you're adding value to their life. So it's really important. I'm gonna say acts of service for sure, because I feel like I'm very resourceful when it comes to my people, and I would like that same energy back.
Yeah. I would probably say, I'm gonna be honest. I've taken this test multiple times through different phases of my life, and similar to Bianca, it has changed like every time I've taken it. The one constant has been receiving gifts, and I know that sounds so crazy, but I do want to say again, I always say this: gifts do not have to be like expensive. Like it can be something that you just make. Like you can make me a car, and that's thoughtful to me because you had to, put thought into what you were gifting. So receiving gifts and definitely acts of service. So on this next slide here, we have a list of how you can communicate and actions to take for each of these. I'm going to take our boxes away so you guys can actually see the screen, hopefully, in case you just don't even know where to start. So if someone that prefers words of affirmations, you can encourage them, affirm them, just appreciate, empathize, and listen actively. It also says something that you can do is send an unexpected note, text, card, just basically literally speaking your gratitude, your love, your affection, all of that stuff with your words though, or writing it. For physical touch, this is nonverbal, but it pretty much uses the body language that we've been talking about in touch to express love. That's hugs, kisses, physical affection, holding hands, just making intimacy a priority. For gifts, it says thoughtfulness make your spouse a priority or speak purposefully. You can give thoughtful gifts or gestures. Small things matter in a big way. Express gratitude when receiving a gift. Ooh. Quality time. Uninterrupted and focused conversations, one-on-one time is critical. Create special moments together. Take walks. Do small things with your partner. Weekend getaways are huge. And then last but not least, we have acts of service. So use action phrases like I'll help, I can do this for you. Honestly, for real, for real. You ain't gotta tell me. If you just do it, like, we good. And then let me know after.
Don't even say it. Don't even say it. Just do.
But pretty much just letting them know that you're there to help them. And you're a partner with them. You guys can do chores together or make them breakfast in bed. Go out of your way to help alleviate their daily workload. Now, out of curiosity, I know I asked, and this can be really quick. You can just list it. You don't have to give like a why behind it. But I know I asked like which one is kind of like your top love language. But I'm curious to know, are there any of these that you guys have difficulty expressing love in? No.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like in the past, maybe when I was like less evolved, I had a hard time with some of these, and that's honestly because like I really didn't know how to give myself this type of love, if that even makes sense. I think when you are like healed, when you have like balanced chakras, you're kind of like open to receiving in different type of ways. But otherwise, then you can be closed off from certain ones. So right now, I think I'm good. What about y'all?
Yeah, I don't feel like I've ever had a problem with any of these, but I'm also just like a lovey person. Like I love expressing, and I've always been like that. So I've never really had difficulties with any of these for real.
Okay. I'm just curious because out of all of these, honestly, I feel like the one, and I don't even know if it's like, it's not a difficulty in the sense that I can't do it. But one thing that I think I'm slowly realizing is that a lot of people in my life, friends, family, just people in general, really have quality time as a love language. And there's only so much time in a day or in a week. So I've been finding it very hard for myself to like actually, give the quality time. Like my mom, my sister, like Amaya, sometimes balancing the people with the time, I'm finding that very difficult. So I was just curious. So next up, these are some examples, and I think these are all related to pizza, of how you could cater to your partner, your family member, your friends' love language. So obviously, for I Made You Pizza, which one do you guys think this is? Act of service, right? Has to be.
Yeah, act of service.
Or here's a pizza. That's a gift. I would say that's a gift. Soft kiss is like pizza dough. Shay, did you make these?
I'm about to say, Shay, did you make that up?
Soft kiss is like pizza dough.
Obviously.
Right. What about let's go get pizza today?
Quality time.
And then last but not least, we have this is a good pizza.
Words of affirmation.
So I know this is like super, super simple, but hopefully this gives you guys an idea of ways with even something about pizza that you could actually literally cater to your partner, again, your friend, your family members' love language by just simple. It takes a little thought, but it's pretty simple. Okay, so next up we have some complaints.
Yeah, so basically how you can communicate to other people when you feel like you're not being met with the type of love language that you need to receive. So, we could talk about all day how you can give to a person, but like what do you do when you're in relationship with somebody and they really not loving you the way that you want to be loved. You don't want to come off sounding ungrateful for whatever it is that they are giving you. But at the same time, you still need your needs met to be fulfilled in that relationship.
So here are some ways that you can express maybe how you're feeling without it sounding, I guess not. This is how you complain to your partner, baby. This is, or listen, if you hear this, then you know, this is how you know what your partner is actually needing or wanting from you. So I'll read this top one. So if your partner says, "You don't tell me you love me enough, I don't feel appreciated for all the housework I do," that could be a sign that your partner's love language is words of affirmation.
So if your partner says, "I feel really overwhelmed at the moment, like I'm doing everything alone," that means that they can use some acts of service. So like jump in, take some stuff off their plate, help a sister out. Like,
or brother.
And then if they be like, "I don't find you to be very generous," gift from you, then that's a difficult conversation. Somebody needs to step it up, okay?
And then you have, if you hear, "You make time for your friends and family, but not me. Work is more important than me." You already know. They want some quality time. They want some one-on-one time with you.
mm-hmm. And if your partner expresses, "I feel like you don't want to touch me and be close to me,"
They want a physical touch, baby.
Can you guys rate these like 1 to 5, which you feel like is what you need the most?
You know they not about to type all of that in the chat.
I'm talking to you and
Oh, us?
1 through 5.
Hold on, let me pull them back up real quick.
5. Okay. So my first would be acts of service. My second would be words of affirmation. My third is quality time. My fourth is receiving gift. And my fifth is physical touch.
Wow. You feel like for real?
Yeah. I know y'all think physical touch is really important. Sex is very important. Like, I don't necessarily feel like that's sex is the way to show me that you like love me. You know, I just like doing
Oh my gosh. That's real though. That's real. Okay, so I don't know. I probably would say that my number one is probably also acts of service. Number one is probably acts of service. Number two is probably receiving gifts. Number three is probably quality time. Number four for me is probably physical touch. And number five is probably words of affirmation, honestly.
What about you, Shane?
I'm going to say also acts of service is my number one. I'm going to go with physical touch is number two. I think in the past I used to say like, "Oh, physical touch is not that important to me," but in all actuality, in a relationship, if it go too long without you showing me affection or us having sex, I'm gonna start feeling some type of way. So number two. And number three, I'll say quality time. Number four, receiving gifts, and number five, words of affirmation.
So those are our five, listed out for what we feel. Feel free if you like. If you want to put yours in the chat, you can. But if not, honestly, just write it down for yourself. Think about it yourself. Really evaluate and reflect on how you like to receive love. And maybe even think about the ways that you currently express love. Because one thing I can say as I was preparing for this, I think the way I receive love and express love sometimes are different. Obviously, it depends on, who you're expressing love to. So yeah, definitely recommend just exploring this for yourself because like Shay said earlier, when you apply love languages to any relationship that you are a part of, I feel like it makes a huge difference.
Agreed.
something I really had to notice, and I think lately I really been trying to be more intentional with is like my kids' love language. Like obviously I got 2 kids, so they totally 2 different people, so they don't want like the exact same things for me. Like Eva is, well, both my kids is affectionate, but Eva, she like needs 1,000 hugs a day, and she need you to tell her she's pretty, she's doing good, like. So that's something that's really you want to consider. I think a lot of people don't really think about how they communicating with their kids, but they deserve to be loved in the way that they want to be loved too.
Yeah. If I had to think about my kids' love language, her top one probably gifts.
My daughter's probably is quality time and then gifts after.
But my daughter's second is quality time because she act like she can't be on. She tell time limit on how long depending where she at.
Kids are really needy. I feel like their love languages are like they definitely need all of them, and they are not patient with you getting back to them on it.
Absolutely not. So that wraps up this week's episode. But we have to end it with an affirmation for you guys to go into your week. Do either of you want to read this one? Nobody wants to read it. Okay.
It still ain't getting along.
Oh no, I'm sorry, y'all. My daughter just came in here talking about lighting. Okay. The affirmation for the week is I choose to respond rather than react. I think that's a great affirmation because that's really how I'm trying to go. Like I'm gonna respond to get me down.
So I think when saying this affirmation, like you really want to think about what a response is and what a reaction is. Like a response, that means that you take time to sit with your emotions, see how you really feel, so that you can express and or communicate them. But then when you react, it's based off of your emotions, and it's like instantly that is like you giving somebody how you feel in that moment, which may not always be like what it is that you're trying to portray or just the best as far as communicating with. So I thought because we talked about communication on this episode, this was a good one to kind of reevaluate like how it is that we are, expressing to other people how we feel, and maybe like actually listening more than we are speaking. Because in order to respond, you actually have to listen to what people are saying and expressing to you. Think about it, gather yourself, and then come back.
I love that. So, that's the affirmation of the week. Choose to respond rather than react. So if you find yourself in situations where you're just ready to go off, take a moment. What's that? Pause, think, and then act. Or in this case, then respond. So on that note, we're going to close it out. We hope you all have a...
Thanks, Ev.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, dang, you guys can't even hear me. I hate when I be muted. Anyway,
thanks, Shay.
Thank you, everyone. We hope you guys have a great week, and we will see you on Monday or Wednesday.
Oh, well, yeah, we'll see you on Monday for meditation.
Yeah, but we'll all three see you on Wednesday.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.